Howling time! What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of It's Howling Time with the Howling Wolf. Here, gonna give you selections for February 8th, 2020. The track's gonna be Tampa Bay Downs. I'm gonna be giving you all the stakes races, starting with race number 8. Race number 8 is going to be the Lenholdham South Endeavor Stakes. Grade 3 for $175,000 purse for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Going a mile and 1/16 on the turf. We got a field of 8 running. Out of all the races, I'm going to give you my 2 top selections plus my horse to watch. First, I'm going to give you my horse to watch. It's going to be the number 7, Got Stormy. Got Stormy is more line odds at 4-5. Last time ran on December 1st at Del Mar on a firm turf going a mile distance in a stakes race for a $300,000 purse. Came up first by a quarter length. Had to go 4 wide into the stretch and led within. The time before that, it ran on November 2nd at Santa Anita on a firm turf, going a mile distance in the Breeders' Cup Mile for the race and came up second by a length and a half. Again, went 4 wide into the stretch, led, and got caught right at the wire, near the wire. Time before that ran on September 14th at Woodbine, going a mile distance on the turf in the Woodbine Mile Stakes Grade 1. Came up second by a half a length. Just was in the bad pack, then got the lead, and then toward the stretch, lost it by that half a length. Got caught by El Tormenta. The workouts have been on January 21st at CAA. I think that's a training course. It's going 5 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 1 minute, 0.02.40 seconds breezing. Was the only workout that day. The last workout was on January 20th at that same CAA training course, I believe. Is that 4 furlongs going when 50.60 seconds breezing was the 13th best out of the 17 workouts that day. What this one I see is the win. It's a bit of a favorite. Everyone's gonna be picking it. I pick it because it seems like it's the only horse that has the best shot at coming on strong. It's keeping Tyler Gaffriel on the board, which has been aboard her and has won lots of the races aboard her and knows how to get her into position. So this is going to be no different. He's going to lay off the pace a bit, try to do that, and come on strong late into that second turn. So again, for my top selection in the Landholm South Endeavor Stakes Grade 3, it is the number 7 Got Stormy at Morning odds at 4-5. Now time for my second choice. It is going to be the number 4, Andina de Sor. Andina de Sor is more line odds is at 7-2. It's by Giant Causeway out of a Singapore mare. Excuse me for my pronunciation. Last race on January 11th at Gulfstream Park, going on the turf, going a mile and 1/16 distance in the Marsh River Grade 3 for a $150,000 purse. Got third by length. Got stacked up in there, was in the lead, and got out-kicked right at the stretch. Then the last time before that ran on November 29th at Aqueduct on a good turf going a mile and 1/16 distance and a Forever Together stakes for $150,000 purse. Got first by a neck. Was driving all the way through and right into that turn just spread out and got in there in time. The time before that ran on October 20th at Belmont on the turf going a mile and 1/16 distance in the Athenia Grade 3 for a $200,000 purse. Got third by 2 lengths. Had to go 4-5 wide and driven out and got out-kicked again and so forth. Got right up there to get up there to second and got out-kicked. The workouts have been on January 6th at Palm Meadows going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 51.95 seconds breezing. Was the 37th best out of the 39 workouts that day. Then the next workout was on January 25th at Palm Meadows. Did it in 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 51.80 seconds breezing. Was the 74th best out of the 81 workouts that day. Then for the last workout, it was on January 31st at Palm Meadows going 4 furlongs on the fast track. Did it in 50.80 seconds breezing. Was the 33rd best out of the 47 workouts that day. From what I see with this one, it's getting Jose Ortiz aboard, which is a plus. Trainer jockey together, they're at 33% click. They know how to win aboard horses. The horse is at 1-for-1 at Tampa Bay and is 3-for-10 at the distance. If this one comes up and shows that it has the ability, maybe lay off a bit and try to make that into that second turn instead of making an earlier move. Just make it into that second turn and around that turn and then into the stretch to make the lead and should come up very strong in the money or even in the for a win. So again, for my second choice, it is the number 4, Andina de Shore at moneyline odds at 7-2. Now it's time for my horse to watch. My horse to watch is going to be the number 8, Phantom Opening. Phantom Opening is at 8-1 money line. It's by Arch out of a Mr. Greeley mare. Last time ran on January 10th at Tampa Bay on the firm turf going a mile and 1/16 distance and allowance optional claiming $100,000. Won that race by 2 1/4 lengths. Took the inside trip, was setting off, stalking the pace setter, then made the move into the stretch to get the win. The time before that was on October 19th at Keeneland on a good turf, going a mile and 1/16 distance for allowance $77,000, non-winners of 3. Came up 8th by 5 1/4 lengths. Was never a factor in that race. Then the time before that was on September 27th at Churchill Downs on the firm turf going a mile distance for allowance optional claiming $80,000, non-winners of 3. Came up 3rd by a length and a half. Was up in there and made the bid in the stretch and was gaining up late. The workouts have been on January 25th at Tampa Bay going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 50 seconds breezing. Was the 32nd best out of the 60 workouts that day. Then the last workout was on February 2nd at Tampa Bay going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 52 seconds breezing. Was the 73rd best out of the 82 workouts that day. Well, I see with this one that it has to do is staying at the distance. It's moving up in class, which has won and raced in tougher classes, and especially at a level at this type of level of horses, and made some good chances. Well, what needs to be done here is that this one's going to have to lay off the pace a bit, maybe stay in mid-pack, and then make that move up for a nice little turn in the second turn to make the move to come up for a good placing, as it did in the last race on January 10th for that allowance optional claiming. It's keeping Antonio Guerrero aboard, which is a good plus. The trainer jockey combination is at 50% when they had 8 rides together, so they know how to get the horses in. Knows how to get the horses into a well positioned well. Antonio Guerrero has been in the money a couple times aboard her, and also has won twice aboard her over 6 lengths. So you may see this one coming up strong and late, especially at this distance and on the turf. And it's 3-4-2. It's 2-4-3 at Tampa Bay, so it has a good record at Tampa Bay. And on the turf, it's at 4-4-19, but should show that it has the ability to come up good with Antonio Guerrero staying aboard and it coming back and seeing that it has the ability to win. So again, for my horse to watch in race number 8, the Random Hole South Endeavor Stakes, it is the number 8 Phantom Opening at morning line odds at 8-1. So to recap, for the race number 8 at Tampa Bay Downs, the Lemholdham South Endeavor Stakes, my top selections is the number 7 Got Stormy at Morning odds at 4-5. My second choice is the number 4 Andina Desor at Morning odds at 7-2. And for my horse to watch, it is the number 8 Phantom Opening at morning line odds at 8-1. Now let's move on to race number 9. Race number 9 is the Suncoast Stakes. The Suncoast Stakes going a mile and 40 yards for a $150,000 purse for Phillies 3-year-olds. We got a field of 9 running. I'm going to give you my 2 top selections plus my horse to watch. My top selection is going to be the number 3, 260. At morning line odds at 6-1 is by Uncaptured out of a Put It Back mare. Last time ran on January 18th at Tampa Bay on a fast track going 7 furlongs in the stakes race for $125,000. Was able to win that race by a neck. Had the pace in between and was cleared and drifted to hold on at that wire. The time before that ran on December 7th, going 6 furlongs in the Sandpiper Stakes for $100,000. Was able to get second by a length and 3/4. Was forced in there to be the pace setter. Then had it up into the turn, lost it, and was able to hold on to get the good second. The time before that ran on November 1st at Santa Anita in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Grade 1. Was able to get 9th by 43 lengths. Kept on, was there for the pace, was the pace setter early, got tired out and bored and stopped. The workouts have been on January 3rd at CAA, I think that's a training course. It went on a fast track, did it in 1 minute flat breezing, was the best out of the 5 workouts that day. Then last workout was on January 9th at CAA training course, I believe. It went 4 furlongs on a fast track, did it in 50.20 seconds breezing, was the fourth best out of the 7 workouts that day. Well, I see with this one to be coming up, it's going to be stretching out in distance, which is has run this distance, hasn't run this distance, but it could be a good one. Stretching back out in distance, showing that it has the potential, dropping a bit more in class from when it ran in the juvenile at Santa Anita. Didn't like it, but at Tampa Bay, it likes the course, knows how to come up well. And it's getting back, it's getting Tyler Gaffrion aboard, which the trainer-jockey combination is at 15%. It's Mark Cassie's is the trainer at 20%. So with this one, you're going to see this one coming up strong and late. Maybe try to be pace setter. Hopefully what I think would need to be done is have this one stay back a bit instead of being the pace setter, but stay back and stalking the next pace setter. Then make the move right around that second turn at this distance. So again, for my top selection in the Suncoast race number 9 at Tampa Bay, it is the number 3 260 at morning line odds at 6-1. Now it's time for my second choice. My second choice is going to be the number 7, Blaine Debbie. Blaine Debbie is morning line odds is at 9-2. It's by Blaine out of a Invensor mare. Excuse me. Last time ran on December 7th at Aqueduct on a fast track going a mile and 1/8 distance in a grade 2 race for a $250,000 purse. Got third by 4 1/4 lengths. Had to go 5 wide and upper. Made a small little chase for it and lost ground into the stretch. The time before that, it ran on October 6th at Keeneland on a fast track going a mile and 1/16 distance for maiden special weight $71,000. Was able to win that race by 3 1/4 lengths. Came out into the stretch and then drew away. So was all the way through first at that distance. The workouts have been January 13th at Tampa Bay, going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 50.4 seconds breezing. Was the 20th best out of the 26 workouts that day. Then the next workout was on January 20th at Tampa Bay. Was 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 49 seconds flat. Was the best out of the 13 workouts that day. Then for the next workout, it was on January 27th at Tampa Bay, going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 49.60 seconds breezing. Was the second best out of the 6 workouts that day. And then for the last workout, it was on February 3rd, going at Tampa Bay, going 5 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 1 minute, 0.02.20 seconds breezing. Was the second best out of the 9 workouts that day. Well, I see with this one to becoming my second choice is that it's dropping a bit in class. Should be able to hold off well. It's getting John Velasquez is going aboard this time, which he should be able to get horses very well into position. The trainer-jockey combinations at 18% with 22 mounts with them together. Should know how to get this horse into position. If the horse could get the stalking pace and so forth and not try to be out too fast at this type of level, maybe the dropping class should be able to help with making that same type of move, be in the mid-pack to stalking the pace setter, then make the move around the second turn into the stretch. So again, for my second choice, it is the number 2. It is the number 7, Blaine Debbie at morning line odds at 9-2. And now it's time for my horse to watch. My horse to watch in race number 9 in the Suncoast. It is going to be the number 8 Turtle Track at morning line odds at 12 to 1. It's by Carl Parents out of a Harlem's Harley mare. Last time ran on November 30th at Churchill Downs on a sloppy track going on a mile and 1/16 distance in the Goldenrod Grade 2 for a $300,000 purse. Got fifth by 9 3/4 lengths. Hopped at the start, then had to go 4 wide into the turn, but was gaining ground into the stretch. The time before that, it ran on November 8th at Churchill Downs on a fast track going 6.5 furlongs for allowance optional claiming $75,000, non-winners of 1. Was able to win that race by 2 3/4 lengths. Cleared it off, was up in there in the mid-pack, and into the stretch, cleared off and sped up fast. Taking over against Indy Takes Charge, was in second at that day. The workouts have been on January 17th at Prairie Meadows, going 5 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 1 minute, 0.01.20 seconds breezing. Was the 5th best out of the 6 workouts that day. Then the next workout was on January 26th at Prairie Meadows. Did it in 5 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 1 minute, 0.01.90 seconds breezing. Was the 11th best out of the 20 workouts that day. Then for the last workout, it was on January 2nd at Prairie Meadows, going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 48.35 seconds breezing. Was the 9th best out of the 43 workouts that day. Well, I see what this one is coming up. It says it's dropping a bit in class. Maybe it should help. Just a little bit of class. Maybe gets a nice clean start. Should be able to come up strong and late like it did in its optional maiden claiming in November. But it's getting Julian Leperoux is staying aboard. The trainer, the horse is at 4-2. This is his first time running at turf at Tampa Bay Downs. So he should be able to handle it well, especially with Julian Leperoux coming over for the ride. The way it should be, that he has been aboard and won over 7 furlongs in 2 races out of the 4 races that this horse has ran, but he's ridden all 3 and won 2 out of the 3. So again, for my horse to watch in the Suncoast Stakes, it is in race number 9. It is the number 8 Turtle Track at morning line odds at 12 to 1. So to recap on the races, my top selection is the number 3, 260 at morning line odds at 6 to 1. My second choice is the number 7, Blame Debbie at morning line odds at 9 to 2. And my horse to watch is the number 8, Turtle Track at morning line odds at 12 to 1. Now for the next race. On race number 10, it is the Tampa Bay Stakes, a grade 3 going a mile and 1/16 distance on the turf for a $175,000 purse for 4-year-olds and up. We got a field of 9 running. My top selection I'm going to give you is going to be the number 4, Caribou Club at morning odds at 5 to 2. Is by City Zip out of a Broken Val mare. Last time ran at Aqueduct on November 9th on the firm turf going a mile distance in the Art Schillinger stakes for $150,000. Was able to get second by a neck. Was too wide in the quarter pole, led up, and got caught at the wire. The time before that ran on September 21st at Laurel Park on a firm turf going a mile distance in a grade 3 stakes for a $200,000 purse. Was able to get there by a head, win it by a head. Was 4 wide, upper drive, and led it into the stretch. Then the race before that ran on August 3rd at Mountaineer in the West Virginia Speaker Cap, I believe it is, for $75,000 race. Was able to win that race by a length and a quarter. Made the bid going into it, was in mid-pack, and into the second turn, coming into the turn, was able to get up there for the win into the stretch. The workouts have been on January 16th at Tampa Bay Downs, going 5 furlongs on a fast track, did it in 1 minute .01.40 seconds breezing, was the second best out of the 6 workouts that day. And the last workout was on February 4th at Tampa Bay, going 4 furlongs on a fast track, did it in 49.40 seconds breezing, was the 8th best out of the 22 workouts that day. With this one, I see it's getting Jose Ortiz is getting aboard. It had some other horses, it had Talamo back when he was here in California. It had Bollinger. It had Mike Smith aboard. It's just with this one needs to get up there, going a bit up and dropping a bit should be a little bit of help, but make that same type of move going a little longer distance would be a plus. After winning back here at Del Mar back on November 24th in the Hernandez Stakes for grade 3. But with this one, we'll need to see that makes that same type of move, because it's been going shorter for a while, and the only time it ran was back on August at Mountaineer for that mile with 70 yards. Maybe you should see that it likes the longer distance. Will help they'll be able to come up for a good win, especially with Jose Ortiz aboard. If no issues start happening, no bumping or nothing, should get a nice clean start, come up strong in the mid-pack around that second turn to come up good for a nice win or in the money. So again, for my top selection in the Tampa Bay Stakes, it is the number 4 Caribou Club at moneyline odds at 5-2. And now it's time for my second choice. My second choice is the number 1, March to an Arch. Moneyline odds is at 7-2. It's by Arch out of a Black Sam Bellamy mare. Last time ran on January 18th at Gulfstream Park, going a mile distance on a firm going a mile and 1/16 distance, on the firm turf, and the Sunshine Million turf for $150,000 stakes race. Was able to win that race by a head. Was up in there in mid-pack and right at the stretch coming up, caught it right at the wire. The time before that ran on October 5th at Keeneland on the turf, firm turf, going a mile distance in the Shadwell Turf Mile. Was able to get 5th by a length. Was bothered early and made the rally right into the stretch. Then the time before that ran at Saratoga on September 2nd on the super fast turf. going a mile and 16th distance in a grade 2 stakes for $250,000 purse. Was able to get 6 by 8 lengths. Was ranked, had to swing out, and then had to go 7 wide out, and had no shot at all. The workouts have been on January 11th at Prairie Meadows on the turf, going 4 furlongs. On the firm turf, going 48.80 seconds breezing, was the ninth best out of the 45 workouts that day. Then the next one was, the last workout was on February 3rd at Prairie Meadows, at Palm Meadows, Palm Meadows, not Prairie Meadows, Palm Meadows, on the turf, going 4 furlongs on the turf, winning 50.45 seconds breezing, was the 45th best out of the 67 workouts that day. With this one, I see is that it has the ability, it's getting Tyler Gaffley on the board, knows how to get the horse into position, but if it has a nice clear trip, you'll see this one coming on strong and late, especially at this distance and on the way it goes. So again, for my second choice in the Tampa Bay Stakes, it is the number 1 March to an Arch at morning odds at 7-2. And now it's time for my horse to watch. My horse to watch is going to be the number 3, Admire Lee Pier. And morning line odds is at 20-1. It's by English Channel out of a Kitten's Joy mare. The last time ran was on December 29th at Tampa Bay, going on a fast track, going a mile and 40 yards for allowance optional claiming 62,500. Was able to get first by 2 lengths. Was off the pace and never looked back, held on the foes. Then the time before that, it ran on November 3rd at Woodbine on the all-weather track, going a mile and 1/16 distance in the autumn grade 2 stakes. Was able to get 8th by 15.5 lengths. Was down in the rail and had no issues to coming up close. The workouts have been on January 18th, going 5 furlongs on the WND training course, I believe, on a fast track. Did in 1 minute, 0.02.20 seconds breezing, was the best out of the 2 workouts that day. Then the last workout was on January 31st at that WND track, was 5 furlongs on a fast track, did in 1 minute, 0.0120 seconds breezing, was the best out of the 2 workouts that day. Well, I see with this one is keeping Sammy Camacho aboard, which is a plus. Got that win, but at a lower level. Now moving back up into the level to this stakes race, the grade 2 is grade 3. It had ran on grade 2s and grade 1s. It had ran on the grade 3 stakes and it came up 5th last time. Went 3 wide and rallied. So if it gets that same type of track that it did last time, running around the area, running back a bit, and coming on strong into that second turn, maybe with Sammy Camacho move this horse up a bit closer to come up for that great win, and come up strong. So again, for my horse to watch in the Tampa Bay Stakes, it is the number 3, Admire Lee Pier, at morning line odds at 20-1. Now to recap my selections. Again, my top selection is the number 4 Caribou Club at morning odds at 5-2. My second choice is the number 1 March to an Arch at morning odds at 7-2. And for my horse to watch, it is the number 3 Admirably Pure at morning odds at 20-1. Now it's time for the next stakes race. It is race of number, the Sam F. Davis Stakes, Grade 3, going a mile and 1/16 distance on the dirt for a $250,000 purse. And maybe see some of these horses may qualify for points towards the Kentucky Derby. We got a field of 8 running. I'm going to give you my selections. My top selection is going to be the number 4. It is Independence Hall. It is at morning odds at 6-1. It's by Constitution out of a Cape Town mare. Last time ran was on January 1st at Aqueduct on a good turf, going a mile distance in the Jerome Stakes for $150,000. Was able to win that race by 4 lengths. Lugged into the stretch, had to go 4 wide, and just didn't look back. The time before that, it ran on November 3rd at Aqueduct, going a mile distance in the Nassau Grade 3 for $150,000 purse. Was able to win that race by 12 1/4 lengths. Had to go 2 wide, got shy of the whip, then had to go a bit more wide and didn't look back. The workouts have been on January 26th at Tampa Bay, going 5 furlongs on a fast track. Then in 1 minute flat, breezing was the best out of the 34 workouts that day. Then the last workout was on February 2nd at Tampa Bay, going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 48.60 seconds, breezing. Was the 10th best out of the 82 workouts that day. Well, I see with this one is it's the unnationally going to be the favorite. The stretch out distance is not going to be the issue. It should be a great race to come up strong and late. The only issue is with the whip. It kind of doesn't like the whip be whipped. Jose is staying back on board after the 2 wins it's been on. It's undefeated. This is the first time at Tampa Bay. We'll see how it likes the race. Its workouts have been doing good. Workouts are good. They're not too fast. They're not too slow. They're right just for maintaining the level of the horse's ability. But the stretch out distance is going to be no issue as well. So again, for my top selection in the Sam F. Davis Stakes, it is the number 4 Independence Hall at morning line odds at 6-5. And now it's time for my second choice. My second choice is going to be the number 6 Premier Star. Premier Star is morning line odds is at 3-1. Is by Tapitzer out of a Hold That Tiger mare. Last time ran was on January 15th at Turfway Park. Not Turfway, but at Gulfstream Park. Excuse me. Ran it in allowance optional claiming $75,000. Was able to win that race by 5 1/4 lengths. Was driving out in the 70 yards all the way through. Then the time before that ran on December 8th at Gulfstream Park. going for a maiden special weight $50,000. Was able to win that race by a length and a quarter. Carried out, drifted out, and came on strong into the stretch. The last time the workouts have been on January 11th at Gulfstream Park West, going 4 furlongs at went 52.20 seconds breezing, was the 22nd best out of the 23 workouts that day. Then the last workout was on February 1st at Gulfstream Park West. Did it in 4 furlongs on the fast track. Did it in 48 seconds flat breezing. Was the best out of the 15 workouts that day. With this one, it's getting John Velasquez aboard for the first time. It's had a rather tease. The way it's is, and also the stretch out of distance is a good plus. Should be enough to be able to hold this horse off, to be able to come up strong behind Independence Hall, to be in for the exact or even pass up. If anything happens with Independence Hall, you'll see this one coming up for the good win. So again, for my second choice in the Sam F. Davis, it is the number 6 Premier Star at moneyline odds at 3-1. And now it's time for my horse to watch. My horse to watch in the Sam F. Davis Stakes Grade 3, it is the number 2, So Volenti. So Volenti is by Carol Knight out of a King Mambo mare. Last time ran on January 4th at Gulfstream Park, going a mile distance in the Mucho Macho Man Stakes for $100,000. Was able to get third by 2.5 lengths. Had to go 4 or 5 wide and got cleared up into the turn and then the stretch. Was staying up there for third. And then the last time before that, it was on November 3rd at Gulfstream Park on the firm turf, going a mile distance in the pulpit. Came in first by 2 lengths. Had the steady advance and then had to go 2 wide and kicked off clear. The workouts have been on January 20th at Palm Meadows, going 7 furlongs on the turf. Did it in 1 minute 22.25 seconds breezing. Was the best out of the 5 workouts that day. Then the next workout was on January 27th at Palm Meadows, going 4 furlongs on a fast track. Did it in 51.85 seconds breezing. Was the 21st best out of the 21 workouts that day. So it was the last worst workout that day. Then the next workout was on February 3rd at Palm Meadows, going 5 furlongs on the turf. Did it in 58.25 seconds breezing. Was the best out of the 17 workouts that day. What I see with this one, the trainer jockey click is at 23% together. After coming in third in that stakes race, shows the ability that it has the ability to come on strong late. The stretch out in distance is a good plus. A little lengthening in the distance would be a great plus, and maybe come up strong for that good late kick that it has to come up and win the race at a great price, because it might be a little higher than that 8-1. So for what I see here, that's my horse to watch. You may see that one coming on strong and late. So again, for my horse to watch in the Sam F. Davis Stakes, Grade 3, for a $250,000 purse, it is the number 2, Sol Volenti, at moneyline odds at 8-1. Again, to recap my selections. My top selection in the Sam F. Davis Stakes, it is the number 4, Independence Hall at money line odds at 6-1. My second choice is the number 6, Premier Star at money line odds at 3-1. And for my horse to watch, it is the number 2, Sol Valente at money line odds at 8-1. And remember, when you're cashing with the wolf, it's howling time. Good luck, everyone, and let's cash in those tickets and the stakes race. Hope everyone has a great day of handicapping. And one thing, if you'd like to follow me on Facebook, my Facebook page is Howling Wolf in Sports. On Facebook, you could my group there. You can see most of my selections there for certain tracks. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Howler92. And I'd like to wish my little brother, a happy 40th birthday. Hope he has a great one, and hope everyone has a great day of making some money. Let's do it. It's howling time, guys.